So I was requesting before we started today's lesson, if we can go through the exercises I had shared on Friday. There is some exercise that I shared on Friday, so I was unable to attend the lesson because I was unwell, but now I'm okay. So and then our business and data analytics classes will be they have changed it from Wednesday to Tuesday. And then also I will make an arrangement so that I can do what I can make up the 2 classes I missed last week. Okay, so there is some exercises I had shared, and then those exercises, they are very important. I know it is an Excel thing, but it prepares us for what? For the advanced level. So there is some 11 exercise I had shared, and then I remember some of the exercises we had done those exercises. But before we go through those exercises, because today I'm seeing we have very few students. We have few students in class. So then I wanted all of us, at least we attend today's class, because I was to discuss something which is very important about the analysis toolbar in Microsoft Excel. And then you know that apart from this Microsoft Excel, we have also to do this analysis by using another tool called what? R statistics. But you know, before we do the R, I want us at least to prepare the real financial statement using Microsoft Excel with assistance of with your knowledge in advanced FM, financial accounting, and then also the what? The auditing. We will come up with the real analyzing of what? Of the financial statements, e.g. the balance sheet, the balance sheet, the income statement. We do it in the what? We analyze it in using the Microsoft Excel before we go to the what? Before we go to the R. And then I will be doing those analysis, because I will expect you people also to assist me in doing what? In you will assist me in doing practice in the what? Doing more practice on Microsoft Excel. So, but the next lesson we will be doing the analysis. We start with the balance sheet, and then we go to the trial balance, and then and so on, because we don't have the time. We have very limited time. But make sure that all the exercises I have shared, make sure that you do all of them. And then if because of one reason or the other you didn't understand, make sure that we make an arrangement so that I can assist you. So today, I will just go through some few analysis, this feature called the analysis toolbar, where we do the real analysis in the what? In Microsoft Excel. So instead of this Microsoft Excel, we can as well use the what? We can use the statistical packages like SPSS. But for our case, we are advised to use the Microsoft Excel. So I wanted to do a simple exercise about the correlation, and then after the correlation, the linear regression. A linear regression is a model. It is a model-based technique, which is an extension to the what? To the Pearson correlation. It is, in other words, it is an extension of a correlation. So for the correlation, you know, we can know there is an association, or there is a what? There is an association between what? Like, for example, assuming that we have an education. We have education, and then we have the salary. Let us say weekly. Let us say the weekly salary, or in other words, weekly what? Wages. Weekly wages. Let us say weekly wages. So now, assuming that we have somebody mwenye amesoma up to the 8th grade, maybe another one 8th grade, and then another one 9, maybe 10, maybe 12, maybe 13, maybe 14, to 25 for that case. And then we have the salaries here. Maybe 2,500, maybe 3,000, maybe 4,000, maybe let us say 5,000 or 2,000, and then maybe 4,500, and then maybe 6,000, and then maybe 7,000. So what I'm trying to demonstrate here is that is there any correlation between this level of education and then how much someone's earns? For example, I'm saying, let us say that this education, does it determine how much someone earns a week? You know, education level yako determine how much you earn per week. Maybe let us say maybe Kenya shillings or dollars or something like that. This is just a fictitious data we are using it to demonstrate the what? Demonstrate the what we call the correlation, and then at the same time the linear regression. The linear regression, and then maybe also it is linear because we have one dependent variable, which is the what? The dependent variable, and then we have the what? We have the salaries, which is the what? Which is the predictor, or which is the what? This one, salaries. No. Tunatumia this education to predict the salaries. We use the education to predict how much someone earns. We use the education to predict how much someone earns. So this one will remain what? This one will remain, this is the dependent variable. This is the independent variable. This is the independent variable. So if you have one dependent variable, and then we have one dependent, and then another independent variable. If we have two variables, one is independent, and then we have a dependent variable. So because it is two, that is what? It is linear. It is the linear. It is the for regression. It is the linear. It is the linear regression. So so my question is, we wanted the Microsoft Excel, especially the what? The analysis toolbar, where we have so many functions of what? Where we have so many functions for analyzing data, likes of what? The ANOVA, the regression, the correlation, to tell us whether there is a what? There is a positive correlation between these two variables. That is what? The education and salary, and then what? And then weekly earnings. Can we use the weekly earnings? We can use the weekly earnings. Weekly earnings. And then weekly earnings. So does education affect in any way how much someone's earning? How much someone earns? Okay, so for that case, we need to load. You need to know how to do what? To use this analysis toolbar. So how do we go about? Okay, so one, I have a data I've shared. So though it is not like the one I'm using this one for demonstration, but I also have another data there. I have the hours studies and then the exam grade. So for that data set I've shared in the screen. That data set I've shared to screen. Let me demonstrate it before now we go to the real analysis. Before we go to the analysis, and then we do the interpretation. So we have the hours. We have the hours studied. And then that is That is independent variable. That is the independent variable. And then we have also another variable, which is what? Which is the exam grade. That is exam grade. So now we have, does the study hours affect affect students' grade? Does the hours studied by student determine the grade he will or she will achieve? Okay. So those are the what we'll find out shortly, whether there is a what? There is a positive or no correlation, or there is a negative correlation. Okay. So I will not be explaining in details on the strength of the correlation, because I already know you know how to do that. But what I wanted us to know today is that in this the Microsoft, in this spreadsheet or Microsoft Excel, we can do what? We can do our analysis. We can do analysis using the analysis toolbar, and then once you have known that we have the analysis toolbar, we can now call and then do what? We can internalize. We can use it in several ways. In the analysis of our financial our analysis of our data. So okay, so what we can do, one, I will be doing very slowly. So we start with the what? We go to the data, because all our advanced functions we use for the, by the way, for our case here, we are supposed to do what? It is data analytics. That is why you have realized in most of my demonstration, I'm using what? I'm using the data. I'm using the data because that is the what? That is exactly what we are supposed to do. What? That is what our center of interest. So you come to the data. No. Before we do that, we come to the data. If you come to the data, you are supposed. I was expecting to have the data data analysis tool here. I was expecting to have it here, but it is not there. So it is not there. So what can we do? I can do what? I can enable it. How do I do that? So one, analytics. So one, the procedures is one. What we are supposed to do is you go to the what? File. You go to the file, you click file, and then you come to the file, and then options, file, and then options, and then add in. Okay, wait kidogo. So I'm just waiting. My machine is not responding. So file. What I'm doing, I'm enabling the what? I'm enabling the data analysis toolbar. I'm enabling what? Analysis. I'm enabling the analysis toolbar. So file. Okay. Yangu ni kama imechapa kidogo. Okay. Yeah, it goes. So you go to the file and then options. You go to the file and then what? Options. And then we select the add in. And then we call. You click here, call. And then now you can see we have a list of what? And add in what? Functions there. So I'm interested in the what? In the analysis toolbar. I'm interested in analysis I'm interested in analysis, toolbar. I'm interested in analysis, toolbar. Okay, so you selected that. We can even add other options. There's no any problem. You can even enable the analysis toolbar for the word for VB, but this one is what I'm interested. So I just click OK. So if you click OK, and then immediately if you go back to the word, if we go back to our this area, you can see now we have what? We have the analysis toolbar. So if I come to the home and then root back to the data, I'm assuming that if you don't have, because in most cases you are supposed to enable unless you have used it before. But come up, how come to me at this data analysis what? Data analysis what? Toolbar, it is not there. So you need to do what? You need to enable. So students, you already have the what? We already have our analysis toolbar. So we can now, we can do the overview of what? Let us start with the correlation. So I'm doing some alignment. So you already have that data. You already have data in the WhatsApp group. So we have the hours studied, and then we have the exam grade. So now, I will come to the data, and then data analysis. So data analysis, we have so many functions for data analysis. We have the analysis of variant ANOVA. We have one-way ANOVA, two-way ANOVA. You know, we have the correlation. We have covariance. We have the descriptive statistics. We have so many other what? We have so many other. We have so many other statistical functions there. We have so many other statistical functions there. I repeat. So first of all, before you do any analysis, in what? Especially likes of the correlation, regression, ANOVA, one sample, two testing, chi-square of independent, all those things, you need to enable the what? The analysis toolbar. You need to analyze what? You need to enable the analysis toolbar. So for you to do that, students, you go to the what? File, and then you come to the options, and then add in, and then call, and then you look forward the analysis toolbar. I can as well even add all of them. There's no problem. And then I click OK. So, and then those tools will work, will appear. So, you know, it is processing. Okay, so, but we are interested in the analysis. We are interested in the data analysis toolbar. We are interested in the what? We are only interested in one thing. The data analysis toolbar. We are interested in this one. So ukishatoa hiyo, once you have enabled that, I don't think whether you will be having any issue. So now, since we already have it, I have a very simple, I have a small data set there with two variables. One variable is the hours studied, and then another variable is exam grade. What we are trying to find out there is that does the hours someone, you know, ile time you take revise, does it affect your grade in one way or the other? Does it anyway, does it have a positive effect on your, does it have a positive effect in relation to your grade? In most cases, it is positive, isn't it? It is positive because the more ukifanya revision, the more you will what? You will understand whatever you will understand about whatever you are preparing to do, and then hence you will perform much better than somebody who is very reluctant. Okay, so Nikikuja to directly select the what? If I select the data analysis, and then I come to the correlation. Let us start with the correlation. And then these things, they are very important. It will assist here. I think you realize that once we are done with whatever we are doing, once we are done with all the financial modeling functions there, which is available in a spreadsheet there, you know, we'll not be having any challenges when now we go to use those what do we call, to use this tool called Excel to perform the analysis of our financial statements. So it is very important at least to have enough knowledge about the program. That is why I started with so many exercises so that it can prepare us to do that, so that we can do very fast. Okay, so we go to the correlation. So you come to the correlation, I click OK. So in the correlation, you need to know this correlation, we have the input. We have the input range. So the input range in most cases is the what? The input range for the correlation. For the correlation is where we select what? The variables. We take the variables. For the correlation, it is expected that you need to have only two what? You need to have two variables there. So the input, I select it all. When I select it back at the what? You select after the okay. I don't think. Which office are you using? Which office? The office you are using, Fatuma? Office? It is office? Is it office 2013? Or imekubali sawa? Thank you. So nimekuja, let me repeat now because of Fatuma. So ndakuja kwa correlation. There is two options. You can highlight and then you go to the data analysis toolbar, or we do what? We go to the data analysis toolbar, and then I selected the correlation, and then once you select the correlation, I wanted to explain this one. I wanted to explain in detail so that mtu asiseme nijui nimeenda haraka. So this one unakuja kuselect all the variables. Una select the two variables. So I've selected the two variables, which is what? I've selected the hours started and then exam grade. And then make sure that we make the first row ikuwe ya labels. Your label, you need, it is the headings. It is the headings. That is what? That is the hours worked and then exam grade. You know, that is not a number, it is a string, so it cannot be analyzed, but it is the headings. So actually the variables. So lazima, if you don't enable this one, if you don't want to enable the label in the first row, don't select the what? Include, when you are highlighting, don't include the hours studied and then exam grade. But it is advisable that you select everything and then you do exactly what I'm doing. So here we have the output options. So we have how many? We have two. We have two options. One, we can do what? We can have our output right here in the what? In this worksheet. In this worksheet, we can as well come up with our output in a different what? In a different worksheet or different workbook for that case. So I want our output to be here so that we can compare the notes. We can compare the notes just here. So I will just enable this output, the output range, and then I select the location. Maybe I will put it immediately here, and then I just click OK. I click OK. So I click OK. That is my output. So this is my output. So I can adjust the what? I can adjust the cells. So this one, hii tunaweza copy bado tuweke hii side. It's still the same thing. It's still the same thing. So I can copy and then I control V. Sorry. So you copy this one, and then I control V, and then let me adjust it. Let me adjust it to be big enough for the visibility. Okay, so that is the what? That is the, so tukikuja hapa between the, tuangalie the what? The exam grade and then the hours studied. There is a what? That is the what? That is the, this is the correlation. So there is a positive, there is a positive correlation. I don't know whether it is big, whether it is weak, whether it is very strong. I think it is upon you to find out, but there is a positive correlation between, there is a positive correlation between the hours studied and exam grade. If you study a lot, ukitumia a lot of time kufanya revision about something, there is a possibility, there is a high possibility that you will achieve higher grades than somebody who is what? Who is not revising. So it is not me who is saying that. It is what? It is just the what? It is just the output. Eh? It is what? It is the output you are seeing there. So there is a positive what? There is a positive correlation. And then we can also, we can use the what? You can use the visual. We can use the what? We can use the visual. You can use the visual. What I mean by visual, we can use graphs. We can use the graphs. Like for example, we can use the scatter plot. We can use the scatter. We can use the scatter what? We can use the scatter. We can use the scatter. How do we do that? Okay. One, we use the same two variables. Eh? We use the variables in the hours studied and then exam grade. We have realized that there is a positive correlation between the hours studied and then exam grade. If you revise more, there is a high possibility that you will achieve higher grades. So si mimi nimesema hivyo, so nimeona that is the output. Tumetumia the what? The correlation from the data analysis toolbar. So now I want us to represent whatever, I want us to represent the same data to represent it in form of what? Scatter plot. We need to represent it in form of a scatter plot. So how do we go about? One, I will simply do what? Insert. I will simply insert. And then you do what? Just the highlight. Just to do the highlight first. We do the highlight. And then this is the scatter plot. This is the scatter plot. And then maybe I can select this first option. I can select that option. And then once I've selected this option, you will come to the what? The chart layout. The chart layout where we have even the chart layout where we have what? Where we have the formula. Where we have what? Where we have the formula. The formula y is equals to, I think you can see it. We have also the r square. We have the r square there, which is that one. So that is how we can come up with the what? So as per the, there is something like a linear line. You can see, though it is not exactly. So there is somebody awezi elewa whatever I've demonstrated it here. If you cannot, there is many ways of doing that. At least we ukiona hizo vitu unaanza kujiuliza hii. Sasa hizi lines vile zinaenda inawe. So there is somebody, if you use these graphs, if you represent our data in form of graph, anaweza ielewa zaidi. So that is the scatter plot. Whatever I was demonstrating about the what? The correlation. I was demonstrating the correlation in what? In spreadsheet. Correlation using the spreadsheet, which is very important in the data analytics. As we prepare ourselves to do what? To analyze our financial statements, we need to be knowing these things. We need to know even this analysis toolbar, which is situated in the what? Which is in what? Which is in a spreadsheet. So I have demonstrated it actually. Nime demonstrate all the what? Tumefanya tukitumia the correlation, which is in the what? Which is in the here in the what? In the data analysis, and then also nimeitumia the scatter plot to insist on it. Okay, somebody is telling me, Alice, anasema nirudie the one for the nirudie the one for the what? For the line, for the scatter plot. So we can, anyway, it's not only that scatter plot, we can use any graph. That is why ukiangalia kwa hiyo course outline yetu for the data analytics, we have a topic for the data visualization in Microsoft Excel. It is all about graphs. whether it is the bar, whether it is column, whether it is pie chart, whether it is a line, and so on and so on. We have so many options there. So I will repeat. So one, you will highlight your data set. One, you highlight your data set because you already have that data. You highlight your data set, and then once you have highlighted, you come to the what? Once you have highlighted, you do what? You come to the data analysis. You come to the data analysis. And then no. I'm sorry. So you come to the insert, and then to put a scatter plot, and then meaning is select here. So ukisha select that one, we can unaona hapa chart layout. And then students, that thing is very important, especially that one for the chart. Even when you are doing your own things, hata kama unajaribu kufanya kuangalia represent your income in form of graphs, maybe for the month of January, kindly make sure that you familiarize yourself with the word, with this chart layout. It is very interesting. This chart layouts, we have different. Unaona nikiclick this one, unaona vile imechange, and then we have different styles. We have different styles. Unaona, it is different. Nikiclick different, unaona they keep on changing. But there is also, we have the one which have the what? Which have the formula, like that one. So there is so many I've used, and then unaona inatuonyesha the exam grade, and then in a level, unaona hizo dots inamaanisha it is the exam grade, and then the line, it is for also exam grade, and then we have the Y and X axis. We have the Y and X axis where we can indicate, we can write our Y and then the X axis for that case. We have also other options yenye aina hii. So unaona kama hii haijatuonyesha where we can indicate our Y and X axis. I can see only we have what? We have the X. We don't have the Y axis. So if you need your graph to be complete, make sure that you highlight, and then we use this layout. We use this chart layout. Okay, so if you want your chart to show the what Y function, unless you are using, but I think all the functions for now. Si ndio hizi, unaona hizi yenye unaangalia hii tu, unaangalia all these styles, you'll find one with the formula. You will find one with the formula. Okay, sawa, Alice, umeipata. Okay, so we can Abdikarim, tupatie 5 minutes, we pray. Okay, I will wait. I will wait for 5 minutes, and then 5 minutes we continue. So meanwhile, watu wenye wako class, kuna mtu akona swali? Niliwapatia zile maswali from exercise 1 to 11. Mulizifanya hizo exercises. And then kama mulizifanya, ziko wapi? Kama mulifanya, ziko wapi? Because hizo exercises nazihitaji. I need those exercises so that I can see how I'll assist him. So you do that. You can send those exercises to my email. Let me write my email. You attach, and then I will check, and then I will share. So utanitumia kwa hii email. Msijali na handwriting, have very good handwriting. So ni R-U-T small, R-U-T-O Kibla, @gmail.com. That is my email. You will share that. Once you are done with those exercises, you make sure that you share to my board, and then kindly kila mtu jaribu those exercises, because whatever yenye inatungojea huku mbele, you need at least to have that exercise in cover all the areas, especially the beginner, the intermediate, and then whatever we may discuss to go back of the advanced. So I still have some few functions we are supposed to discuss and to see, but make sure that umefanya hizo vitu. And then nilikuwa nataka tupitie leo from exercise 1 to exercise 5. Naenda very fast because But make sure that umenitumia hizo exercise kama umezifanya zote, kama umezifanya through my email. I repeat, my email is rutokibla@gmail.com. Ruto, R-U-T, and then small letter, rutokibla@gmail.com. gmail.com. Simukubali kama mtanitumia hizo exercises. Simukubali kama mtanitumia hizo exercises kindly. Even if it is not today, even if it is weekend, but make sure that you exercises zote yenye mmezifanya mtanizitumia. And then kwa hiyo exercise kama kuna area yenye mchaielewa, utafanya nini? Uta indicate. Maybe you have some questions about the same. It is still okay, Fatuma. You can as well send it to the WhatsApp. Unaweza send to WhatsApp and then I will get it. I will still get it ukifanya kwa WhatsApp. But nilikuwa na prefer because inakuja kwangu direct kwa email yangu. So instead of so that nisitumie nisimsumbue mwalimu ama the admin wafanye. But you can as well send it through the WhatsApp. I don't have any problem. So we are waiting for the Muslim students so that we can continue. Waiting for the Muslim students so that we can continue. Okay, so we continue. We continue. We continue. Okay, so from today onwards, I'm requesting you people to make sure to try as much as possible to do what? You do more practice on, you can, demonstrate it now practically in according to your profession. Like I've used the data set of what? Of the hours studied and then exam grade. So wewe unaweza kuja na kitu ingine uone, is there a positive, maybe is there a positive correlation? For example, let us say, kama unafungua duka yako on weekend, ukifungua on weekend, does these weekends affect your profit margin or something like that? So you try to internalize it and then you try to make it practical. But whatever I'm just demonstrating here is just a word, a correlation. But a correlation, not doing what? Not kuandika. No, I'm just using a computer to do that. It is very simple. Provided you have the data set and then you know the procedures, of which I've already repeated. I've already what? Repeated like twice the procedures on how to go about. So, I want us to go to, I can as well use the same data set. I can use the same data set to demonstrate about what? To demonstrate about the linear regression. I can use the same data set to demonstrate about the linear regression. The linear regression, I think mulifunza kwa QA, quantitative analysis in section, by then it was section 4, now section 2, I don't know. Okay, so Tumefanya nini? We have done the correlation, and that correlation tumeangalia the numbers, tumeangalia the what? Tumeangalia the values, tukaona it is statistically significant, and then there is a positive, or tukaona there is a positive correlation. There is a positive correlation between the what? The hours studies and then exam grade. The same mtu ukifanya revision ndio grade yako itakuwa, itakuwa higher. Now, the linear regression is an extension. It contains more output. It contains more output. It contains more output because whatever you have seen, I've demonstrated there, it was very simple. It was just very simple. Ilikuwa inaonyesha tu the correlation. There is a positive correlation between the what? The hours studied and exam grade. But now, if we come to the linear regression, because we are supposed to do the linear and then the multiple regression. So if we come to the linear regression, this one, you expect more output. About the same. You expect more output. That is why I'm saying it is a model-based technique, which is an extension to the what? It is a model-based, linear regression is a model-based technique, which is an extension to the what? Extension to a correlation. So, but if on a more, it has more output. Like for example, now, since we are doing what? Tunataka kuangalia ukiongeza one unit of time of revision. Like for example, from let us say from 10 to 11. From 10 to 11. So one unit of what? 1 unit of revision time, inakupatia, you know, I think let me use this example. This one to me at this hours. Let us choose, like for example, that one for the earnings, that one for the education, and then weekly earnings. So for linear regression, haiwezi kukwambia tu there is a positive correlation. Okay, the higher education you have, the higher income you have, which also the correlation can tell us that. But now for the linear, inatupatia more details, gives us more details in seeing one unit of one grade. For example, nikisoma, if it is from grade 8 to grade 9, that one unit of education inanipatia how the extra inanipatia how much, you see how inanipatia extra of how much, the extra amount of how much. Like for example, does kama ukiongeza one level of education, maybe from 8 to 9, una earn extra how much, the extra amount of how much, the salary yako itaongezeka by how much, of which the B value will show us that. The B value in the linear regression will show us that. I will not be explaining more about this because it is something Mr. Kimani aliwafunza kwa section 4. So mimi naonyesha tu how to do it in the computer. The same thing applies to the other data analytics. You already have the data. You know unajuanga the balance sheet, unajuanga ni nini, you know all the assets, maybe inakuwa on, inakuwa debited, you know the liabilities, they are on a credit side, you know what you are supposed to subtract. But I'm just demonstrating how we can use the computer to do that, because in the world now we don't do it manually. We use the computer. You can use the softwares like accounting softwares like QuickBooks. We have Sage, we have the Pastel. That one in automated, but we can as well do it in the Word. We can as well use it in spreadsheet to do that. Now, I don't want you to take time on explanation. So but unajua the linear regression inatupatia more output compared to the what? To the correlation. So let us see this output. So what you do, still the same thing. I will come to the data, I will come to the data, I'll come to the data, and then data analysis. I come to the data analysis, and then now I will be selecting what? I will be selecting the regression. I will be selecting the regression. I will be selecting the regression. And then you realize there we have what? We have the input. We have the input Y range, and then we have the input X range. The input Y range always stands for dependent variable, while the input X range is dependent or is, so the input Y range is for what? Dependent variable. Dependent variable. While the X range is independent variable. Independent what? Independent variable. And then we can have more than one independent variable. For example, if it is a multiple regression, we have more than one independent. We have more than one predictors. We have more than one. So this one, if we have, like for example, assuming that this is Y, and then we have X1, we have X2, we have X3. So this is the dependent variable. And then all these ones are what? They are independent variables. So, but for our case here, it is just a linear because we only have one dependent variable and then one independent variable. So how do we do that in the world? I'm saying it is not within my job to interpret, but if you need the interpretation, I will consult the expert in the interpretation to interpret it for you. But mimi naonyesha tu how to use the computer to do that. So nataka muelewe hiyo. So kama kuna mahali unaona sijasema sana, it is because I'm just showing you on how to do it. Because that is why wanasema this data analytics, it is meant for the students when you wamefanya hizi mambo zote. So I don't have to be explaining everything, because you know also the time is not on our side. We started this thing very late, and then the exam will be December, but don't worry. I will make sure that before that we will have done everything. I'm preparing. Ukiangalia my computer, I'm preparing everything so that tukienda kwa hizi financial we'll be doing it very fast. But now you will not be having any issues because at least unajua all the functions, unajua all the formulas to use. So tukikuja kwa wiring, in these two variables, nataka one of you muniambie kani ndio dependent variable. Nataka muniambie unaandika kwa message, unasema our studied is dependent variable and then exam is independent. So nataka those answers so that I can use the computer to demonstrate that between the two variables there, because now we already have two variables. Hii data set tulikuwa tumetumia kwa correlation, nataka tutumie tena kwa nini? Kwa linear regression. So I'm waiting for your answers before we continue. Kwa hiyo data set yenye nimeshare kwa screen, nataka mniambie kani ni dependent variable na kani ni independent variable. Fatuma? Wewe tusaidiane, isikuwe ni mimi peke yangu nikiongelesha kwa class tafadhali. So what do you mean by y? Y sasa inamaanisha ni independent variable ama unamaanisha aje? Batuma? Very good. And then, so I think Fatuma ametujibu. So the independent variable is what? The independent variable for that case is the hours worked. So the E grade the what? Okay, sawa. So I think now since all of us I think now we understand. So what we can do, I will select the what? I will select the dependent variable. So in the dependent variable is where we select what? Is where we select the tuna select the hapo ndio nimeselect, and then you make sure that when you select your data set, make sure that you don't have the missing values. Usiweke kama hapo katikati uone kuna cell yenye iko empty. Make sure that there is values in all the data set. So I've selected the dependent variable. So I'll go to the what? To independent. It is independent because I have only one variable. It is like y and x1. So because I have only one variable. So since I have only one variable, I'll do what? I will select the what? I will select the hours worked like that. Kama ningekuwa na so many other variable, so many independent variable, bado ningeselect zote kwa x-ray. Even if I have more than 10 independent variable, ningeselect kwa hapo kwa input x-ray. Ningeselect kwa input x-ray. Okay, and then nikuje kwa output. I come to the output, and then we can also decide that nataka that before we do that, I'm supposed to do what? I'm supposed to select the what? The labels, and then the confidence interval. Confidence interval. That one is very important. I don't see the reason of selecting the residuals, and then maybe the standard residual, and then we have also the normal probability, which mostly probably it will draw some graphs to us. So maybe I can do that. I can enable the normal probability. And then you have to select the location. So output range, maybe I wanted to put it here, and then I click OK. So, and then that is my what? That is my output. So I've included the what? I've included the probability there, but I don't think whether I need this one. It is not necessary for me for now. So acha niachane na hii. Okay, so you can see we have the regression statistics. We have the regression statistics there. We have the regression, the summary output. We have the multiple R. We have the R square. We have adjusted the R square. You can double click so that you can see more. You can have more information. We have adjusted R square. We have standard error. We have the observation. So the observation is the number of the participant, the number of the what? The size of our data set. So it is, hii inamaanisha, it is what? Inatuambia it is 13. I don't think whether it is 13. Is it 13 really? It's not 13. 1, 2. So let me just confirm. Let me confirm whether it is 13. Let me confirm whether it is 13. So nikuje kwa series. And then column, and then maybe niweke mpaka hiyo 13 nione. So yeah, it's right. So the size of our data set, the size of our data set is what? Is 13. So the number of what? The number of the observation, it is what? The number of the observation is 13. And then we have the degrees of what? Freedom. We have sum square. We have mean square. We have F. We have the significant. So the significant there. So I don't know whether I do what I interpret, but I don't want to interpret it for now. This one, you people mlifunzwa na kuna mwalimu aliwafunza anaitwa nani, Mr. Kemani alifunza the statistics. Okay, so tukikuja what we were interested is this one. Yenye tulikuwa interested in is this one. So it means that unaona hiyo 0.0, that's 0.000, I don't know, 0.00, angalia muangalie kwa formula pa hiyo hii. So 0.0016. So 1 hour yenye utasoma utaongeza 0.00016 of the grade. Utaongeza, you know, 1 hour, the 1 hour. Unaona, I'm assuming that this is the revision hours, the revision hours. So any 1 hour yenye wewe utaongeza ndio, you know, inakupea grade ngapi? Inakupea grade of 0.00116. I think that is what I can say. Yeah? And then we still have now the standard error. For our case, we have Munangalianga, if this one is greater than this one, inakuanga nini? It is significant. We can use it to predict something. So it is if the calculation. So I think this one, let me maybe let me explain it later about this output, but I don't think whether kuna mtu akona shida about this interpretation. Ni kenye nilikuwa nataka tu, kama tungekuwa tunataka straight line tungetumia this intercept and then tutumie this values zingine, but for now what I want you people to know is to know that the spreadsheet, it has ability of doing what? Of doing the real analysis. We can do the correlation, we can do the linear regression, we can do the ANOVA, we can do one sample t-test, we can do the chi-square of independent, all those statistical functions, which you may experience for SPSS or others, we can still use it in the work. Okay. Sasa Fatuma umeniambia how to apply these things in real life. Yeah, there is many ways you can apply. Sasa kama wewe ushaijua sasa, si umemeka decision. Sasa umeitumia tumefanya the analysis and then tumerealize that kumbe the more nikirevise, the more hours nikirevise, the higher grade I'll score. So you will make a decision. You will make a sound decision to do revision. And then hiyo imekusaidia in life. So utapita kwa kasi. Unaona? Kama ulikuwa una revise ICT or revising. So kama ulikuwa una revise less. So now umetumia the existing, what we call the existing Y and X values to predict that, there is a what? There is a very positive, there is a result. Nikifanya nini? Nikirevise sana, the more I revise, the more the more grades I can score, and then the lesser you will be failing, and then the lesser you will be wasting your money, the lesser you will be wasting your time. Because ukifanya revision, that is, I don't think whether kuna vile there is many ways of doing. I think I cannot explain so many ways you can use it, but me nilikuwa na kuonyesha this one. In real life, there is many ways hizi vitu inatusaidia, because I think it is straightforward. So the moment hii kitu inatusaidianga to predict something, that is why unaonanga you can see unatumia this existing whatever we existing sample data to predict the future thing. You don't know. So is there any other question before we continue with the multiple regression, So before we continue, hizi vitu tunavaa tujue kutumia. So we don't have any problem with that. The data already we have, all the data set we have, even the balance sheet tutakuwa nayo, trial balance tutakuwa nayo, but kutumia kwa computer, that is the issue. And that is why data analytics imeletwa nao tufanye nini? Ujue you know, apart from this one, we can as well, bado tutawafundisha how to use the HAR, how to use the HAR, and then tutasaidiana na mwalimu wa audit, mwalimu wa financial accounting, mwalimu wa inaitwa nini, FM. At least we do what we incorporate to analyze the, you know, we use the formulas inatumika in those subjects. Okay, understood. Thank you. Okay, any other question? Alice, uko sawa? Josephine?
Yes, niko sawa.
Okay, so I want us to do what? Also to use this. I want us to use we use that example of a data set to demonstrate about the what? The multiple regression. That multiple regression, it is a situation where we have more than one independent variable. And then Vatuma sasa hapo tutakuwa tunaangalia ile kitu we have, like for example, this is the what? We have the cost. This is I'm using this one. It is like a manufacturing company. It is a factory. Sorry, it is a factory. And then we have this is the cost. Whatever you are saying here, this is the cost. This is the production cost. This is company A. This is the company B. This is company C. This is just a demonstration. It is I'm using this data to demonstrate. It is a fictitious. It is not actually a real. It is not a real word. It is not a real. It is not a real, or I can say it is not. See data in may collect. It is not a real data. It is just a fictitious. It is just for demonstration. It's just for demonstration. And then mwenye atatafuta the real data, mwenye atatumia it in real life ni wewe, sio mimi. Wewe sasa utachukua real data, provided umeielewa. Ukielewa, you can now internalize it, and then you can use it in your real life. You can use it practically in your real life. So now this company, and then we have from the first month to the 19th month. We have from the first month to the 19th month, and then ukiona production cost, you know, for the production cost for this company here, then this one, then this one. So now I don't want even to demonstrate sana about. I don't want to demonstrate sana about. Mimi yenye nataka mjua hapa, nataka mjua kuitumie naitwa nini? How to come up with the multiple regression in what? The multiple regression in the multiple regression in spreadsheet. The multiple regression in spreadsheet. So what we do, we still do the same thing. We go to the what? We go to the data. There is some things there. Nilikuwa naona, I will do what? Let me repeat this thing. Wanafunzi wengine wengi hawajakuwa leo. So na najua hata wakiangalia video, it is very important ukiwa kwa class and then mwalimu akiinterpret. So mutaniruhusu niwaonyeshe tu how to come up with the multiple regression output in the what? Output in a spreadsheet, so that tukikuja our next lesson, before we start, maybe I can now do the prediction. I can predict using the state, not about the green. I can predict the monthly cost using the models down there, which is A, B, and C. But today, nataka nifanye nini? I wanted to only to show you how to do it, show you how to come up with that output. I wanted to show you how to do that in a spreadsheet. So we still go back to the data. It is, ukisikianga hii kitu inaitwa data, mtu mwenye hana information about advanced Excel, about the financial modeling in a spreadsheet, mambo mingi hajui kwa hapa kwa data, because hizo stories are motive analysis, stories are consolidate, validation, duplicates, and then all this. So that is why hii data, ukikuja kwa what? Tukikuja kwa, not solver, sorry. Tukuje kwa data analysis toolbar. So the data analysis toolbar. And then tukuje kwa regression. Tukuje kwa regression. So the regression, I click the regression. So for the regression, I don't know why it's showing me. I wanted to delete everything. Let me clear everything, and then so that we can start from the scratch. So for this case, it is different. It is different from the what? From my first example for the linear. Will it demonstrate the linear regression? In linear regression in what? In Excel, or I can say Excel or spreadsheet. And then we have the linear, and then we have the multiple. We have the multiple regression. So the multiple regression means that there is what? More than one independent variable. More than one independent variable. Or we have a bunch of what? Independent variables. But we still have one dependent variable. So for our case there, dependent variable is the what? Is the production cost. Is the production cost. So the production cost is still in the what? In the Y. You select the production cost like that. And then I come to the what? The input X, which is now the independent variables. So I have to select all the independent variables. I have to select all the independent variables like that. And then don't forget to do what? Usisahau kuiweka tick kwa labels. Otherwise, you will not get your regression, the multiple regression output. You will not get if you don't do what? If you don't uncheck. So, and then also, the confidence, this one is optional. But this one, if you don't do that, it will not be either analysis string or what we call the labels. Those things will interfere with what? With your multiple regression output. So for this one, you can add the residuals, you can add standardized, but I don't, najua yetu sana si ati analyze data. We are not, atutake analyze, analyze data, no. Ours, you need to know how to use the analysis toolbar. Itatusaidia when we are making the analysis of our financial statements. I want you to know to use that one. I want you to know. So this one you can include or you can exclude. It is optional. It is optional. So now even this normal probability, it is still optional. And then the reason why it's taken away a new worksheet, it is because I already have another examples of the information in my workbook. Okay? So I don't want to interfere with it. So just to work the same, so that it will be very easy for us to compare. It is very easy for us to compare the notes. So nikiselect the output range, ni mahali unataka. So wacha tukuje hapo, wacha nikuje maybe kwa that place. And then I just click OK. Oh, there is a mistake nimefanya somewhere. So I will still repeat regression, and then OK. And then I will select the what? The independent variable. I will select the independent variable, the dependent variable. And then I selected the what? The input X range, which is represent the independent variables like that. The independent variable. And then I selected the what? In the location, we need our output to appear. And then what else? Nothing else. I click OK. And then wow, that is our what? That is our output. That is our output. But that output, so that output also you can see we have the what? We have regression statistics. We have the regression statistics. We have the regression statistics. We have the ANOVA, analysis of a variant. We have the regression, we have the residual, we have the, all these things. But now it is made up of what? It is made up of all three what? Independent variables. That is what? Company A, company B, and then company C. And then these are what? Kuna kitu mlikuwa mnasema mkikuja calculation. If this one is greater than this one, if this one is greater than this one. So it means all this one, we can use these three variables to predict. We can use, they are predicted. We can use all of them. So this one, the company A, if you compare the company A, okay, compare company A na company B and C, company A predictability yake iko chini kidogo. As I think these figures, as by whatever we are seeing in the P value there. So this one, there is a situation where if the value is less than, if it is less than 0.15, that one is on high predictability, and then it is statistically significant. So we can as well even ignore. Tukiona hii haina impact sana, haiwezi tupea the prediction. We can as well assume that one, and then we assume. Tunaona there is a line hapa nimetengeneza ya constant. Constant ndio inakuanga hii coefficient, but sitaki tufanye, wacha tufanye this one, and then we can do this one to perform the prediction. Tukitumia whatever the models are provided down there. Let us repeat that one during our next lesson for the sake of the other students, because that one I will do. So maybe I will do some interpretation about the output of the especially the multiple regression, about the multiple regression. So apart from the correlation, the linear, and then the multiple regression, you have realized that we still have so many other functions. We use them for the analysis. We have also even the descriptive statistics. We can come up with the descriptive statistics of the what? Of the data set you are seeing there. We can come up with the descriptive statistics. But sasa atamuuliza hiyo sasa tutumia wapi in real life? Utaangalia the descriptive statistics inasaidianga watu wapi, kitu kama hiyo, something like that. You will just do what? I'm just teaching you people to know to use Excel. Ukue sawa kabisa kwa Excel, ndio at least you prepare, we tackle the financial statement analysis. At least usiseme kuna kitu sijui, kuna kitu maybe sijafunzwa. So at the end of our lesson, because it is only two. This week's lessons we are done with the what? We are done with the spreadsheet, so that we go and then do other things. We do the analysis now, but I will not be doing anything to do with Excel. I will not be showing you how to adjust the weight, how to use the whatever analysis, okay, how to use the consolidation, how to do validation, how to remove the duplicates, how to do what? How to use the advanced filter. No. I will be just doing what? I will be applying the formulas as per the what? As per the question, assuming that my students are already prepared to do the same. So I'm giving you an assignment. You make sure that whatever we have learned today, you go back to the data analysis toolbar, and then you try to come up with so many analysis, and then you try as much as possible to do what? To demonstrate or understand. Because otherwise, if it's not that way, we don't have that time. So maybe I can demonstrate one for the descriptive statistics. So maybe I can highlight all this one, and then nikuje kwa data analysis toolbar, and then nikuje kwa descriptive statistics. And then the input range. So it means that I have to select everything. Select everything like that. And then hii nataka iende kwa new. I include the what? The labels in the first row, and then the output, watch iende kwa new worksheet. I just click OK. So there is something sikufanya. Okay, so I've selected grouped by columns, or you can even select grouped by row, any can do. Then oh yeah. Sasa unajua nimeenda kwa descriptive statistics and then I've not selected. No, I have to select the summary statistics. Hata ni select to the summary statistics peke yake and then I click OK. Oh, what is the problem? So I'm assuming that I'm using the wrong data. I'm using the wrong data. So let me just try to use only this one. Wacha tu nitumie hii peke yake, the three of them. So and descriptive statistics, then you selected the three variables, the company head, and then summary statistics, and then I click OK. And then wow, that is it. That is it. So unaona inanipea mean, the mode, the median, the kurtosis, the range, the maximum, the count. So this is what we refer as the descriptive statistics. But ujue atuko class ya statistics, we are in data analytics. Data analytics. So you need to know how to analyze the data. Ukitumia spreadsheet. But I can assure you, once you are done with this, one, that is why I kindly request you don't meet any class. Once you are done with this spreadsheet, unless tu once you are done with it, you will know only itakusaidia kufanya mambo zako zingine. If you are kama uko kwa campus and then unafanya data analysis, you can even assist somebody to do the analysis ukitumia spreadsheet instead of SPSS, because sometimes SPSS to some people inakuwa challenging. You can use the spreadsheet to do everything. We can come up with the report to what we call the Beaufort tables. You know, we can use advanced filter to do. We can use the normal and advanced filter to come up to generate somewhat, to come up with what, to remove some specific information from our large volume of data. So I can encourage you, all of you, make sure that you don't miss these classes for the data analytics, because it is a practical class. It is a practical class. The knowledge you already have, you don't have any problem with that. Where already you have the knowledge. But now, nataka will transfer your knowledge into the computer, so that you can make it very easy. Because now everything now is digitized. So make sure that don't meet my class for the data analytics. Especially for this spreadsheet. Hiyo ingine I think unaweza jua. Tukianza kufanya hizo topics ingine, that one at least it is very easy because it is something you may find. But now, if you don't have enough knowledge about the spreadsheet, you will be having some challenges. Hata kufikiria to come up with that formula itakuchallenge. Naona kama uelewi about if, count if, sum if, you know, all those functions, they are very important. Don't take it for granted. Make sure that you practice, and then if you, at all, unaona, if you have some challenges about the same, you ask me in advance. Okay, so the descriptive statistics. So I want you to use the remaining minutes. We do some few exercises. The exercises I share. Because in our next lesson will be now using about 4 or 5 financial modeling functions, and then we can call it the hand for the, we can call it a day for the what? For the spreadsheet. And then now we go to the other topics, because we go to the other topics, and then before we are done, we are supposed to use also another tool called what? We are supposed to use this tool called R. We use that R, I demonstrated. R maybe unaweza ambiwa utumie R au utumie what we call the spreadsheet, but we will do it. Utaiangalia. Okay, so we go to the question number 1. Nataka tufungua, I'm giving you the time. We go to the question number 1. I want you to go to the question number 1. hii nitaachana nayo. We still have some of the exercises there. I will do it in the next lesson, ndio for the sake of the other students hao wenye hawakukuja. So hii tutaachana nayo, at least we have an idea. You people, you go and practice. So nataka tuende kwa hizo exercises. We try as much. Hizo exercises yenye mwalimu ametuma, nataka tuende exercise 1, exercise 2, exercise 3. At least tujaribu tuende very fast before the time elapses. Reason why I do what? The reason why I'm saying it is very important for us at least to do those practices. Mtu usiseme sasa hii exercises kwani tuko kwa Excel ama tuko kwa class ya data analytics au vitu kama hizo. No, that is why unaona wameweka Excel kwa that outline. So it is very important. So this is part of the functions I was talking about. So we have the exercise 1. The exercise 1, we'll share those exercises in the WhatsApp group. We have the exercise 1. I will not be doing all of them because of the time, but nitafanya zile naona it's very important for us. So I will share. So we have the exercise 1. So we have the exercise 1. We have the exercise 1. We have the exercise 1. Sasa kama mtu huko umefanya sijui nitakusaidia aje sasa. So we have the exercise 1. So the exercise 1, first of all, you need to produce or to come up with that data exactly the way it is. The way it is in the what? In the paper. The way it is in the paper. So that one you can use only 1 minute to do that. So 1, I can see we have hebu tuende mpaka question number what? Question number 4. Question number 4 inasema set the height of the row 2 to 40. So that one you do what? You right click and then ukuje kwa row height. So unakuja kuselect. Ukisikia wakisema if they say it is row, kindly you select the number. Usikuja hapa kuhangaika, unaona? Ukuje hangaike kwa hii dunia hii. No. Just click the number itself. If it is about the column, ukiambiwa the column A, you select those columns. At the top, the columns. If it is the columns, but for our case, it is column, it is row 2. So, and then you right click there. You right click and then you go to the row height. And then for that row height, weke 40 as per the question. No, weke 40 and then you click OK. So you click OK, and then I don't expect you people to have a problem in matching. In doing what? Matching the cells. In matching the cell. Matching the cell, you simply highlight. And then like as per that question, A to F. So that is why I've highlighted from A to F. And then you come to the word home. And then you come to the alignment. I prefer, I can advise we use the word. We can use either the long cut or the shortcut. The shortcut is you right click, and then, no, that is the long cut. The shortcut is you come to the home, and then you mark the center. So you mark the center like that. And then marching to the center, it gives you the detail. Join the selected cells into one large cell and center the content in the new cell. So for that case, we have the Coral what? We have the Coral automount. We have the Coral. So I will type Coral auto like that. So this one you do what? You just select it, and then there's many ways of doing that. I can still come here and then I increase the size of what? Of my text. And then these are alignment. We have this alignment, we have the center, we have also the middle alignment. So like that. I think that is what they have done. And then it has the outline border. So the outline border utakuja hapa, and then this is what I mean. The outside border is this one. So it is only one. You can as well come to the borders and then more borders. These more borders, it's where we can select the style of our choice. You know, like for example, you can see that border, it is thin. We need to have the thick one. So you can select it like this one, and then I click here, I click here, I click here, and then okay. And then that is it. So it is very important for us when we will be preparing, maybe if you want to prepare cash book, so you will be highlighting, you will be using some color, you will be using some borders. So it is very important. Whatever I'm showing you people here, hakuna kitu unasema ati it is very important for us. Hata kama kuna mtu mwenye alikuwa amefanya na amesahau, it is very important for us to repeat. That is why wameiweka. So we don't know mali watakuwa wanauliza. So we are supposed to do everything if the time will allow us, and then we can do. So that is it. And then tukuje kwa headings, like for example this one. And my assumption is hakuna mtu akona shida. Most of us, we are familiar with the word, with the text wrap, kitu kama hiyo. For example, if whatever you are typing is not enough for your cell, it is not enough in that specific cell, we have this function in it, the text wrapping. So you click here and then you can adjust it. So that is it, and then that is it, and then that is it. Even they have applied date of transaction when they apply. But now it is supposed to be centered. So it's supposed to be centered. So I do what? I highlight also. And then nikisha highlight nikuje kwa alignment. Niweke center, and then niweke center, and then nikuje kwa borders, nikuje kwa more. Now I need only a line kama hiyo. That is, I don't know. Kama mimi naiona ikuwe iko tu peke yake. There is hakuna hii line nyingine ya chini. So and then I click okay. And then that is it. And then that is it. And that is it. And then maybe we can do what? We can highlight our title headings. You can highlight our title headings, and then Control B. Control B to make it bold. The same thing applies this one. Control B. So we make it bold. And then on that question also we have this 11. We have this one. So this one tunaweza kuja kuselect, and then we do what? And then we drag. Inachukua. Or alternatively, we can still do what? I can still use the linear. I can use the linear. I can use the what? The series, and then so in a hard 1 to 115. The reason why I prefer this one, if we have so many records, like 1,000, you know, dragging it sometimes is very tedious, and then you may end up distorting even your data if you do that. But if you are specific, if we do like the way we are doing it now, oh no, I'm sorry, siku indicate column wise series, and then ningefanya click column, and then now nikuje niseme 115. Kindly, whatever you are doing, make sure that you do that. You do that instead of, but there is also this option. There is this option. I can just highlight like this one, and then I press control. Oh, sorry. Oh, that one is dragging in a formula. So it is not applicable there. So this one you do what? You drag like that. Or we can use the series, and then you select the column, and then you specify from this number to the other, that number. Okay, so I think that one is okay. That arrow ilikuwa inaindicate unafaa ufuate the sequence. So ilikuwa inaongezeka by one number from 111 to the 112, from 112 to the 113, from one like that. So I was expecting all of you to do that. And then for this question also, I can see we can highlight it like this one, and then we go to the more, and then the borders, and then maybe I can use the ticker line like this one, and then I click OK. So something like that. And then we go to the question number 1. Question number 1, I think you have already created the worksheet shown above and one, and then rename. So renaming, you can double click, and then or you can right click, or you can click, you right click, and then you do what? Or you rename. Then you can see, and then you write in your viewer. you rename it like that. That is how we do renaming. And then align all the columns like horizontally. That one, so format the column F2 include dollars, to include the dollars. So you need also to be knowing, because this is what you will be using actually. So if you have account in dollar, you can account in Kenya shilling, you can account in, you need at least to know how you can do that. You need to know how to do that. That is not something which is it is not something which is difficult, but there is some, I'm assuming that there is somebody actually have to change from one currency to the other, from one currency to the other. You can even add, you can customize. If there is a new currency introduced here, we can still do that. We can still change it in a spreadsheet, in a pair that option. Even if it is not in the list, you'll just go to the regions and then you go to the currency, you can type it to the side, and then it will appear there automatically. So this one, you come to the numbers, you select the word, you select the currency, select the currency, and then you select the currency, you click the drop down button. But I can see there we have some few currencies. We have the dollar, we have the English, we have the what? We have the dollar for the US, we have the UK, we have the euro. But if you need more currencies, what can we do, the students? You can come to the number. There is this drop down button. You click on that drop down button, and then you come to the what? The currency. Ukikuja kwa currency hapa sasa, ukikuja kwa currency, we can, you know, this one you can have more currencies. You can even look for Kenya shillings here. You can. This is a Kenya shillings, and then you can apply. My point was, you need to know how to do that. Any currency, you can change it without any problem. You can change it without any problem. And then there is also a situation where there is a problem, there is an error. That is why I will come up with one lesson. I will explain in details the factors what we need to consider when we are purchasing a spreadsheet. Okay, there is some, apart from the cost, apart from the hardware, there is also other factors which you need to consider. That is why sometimes when you are using that spreadsheet in your office, you find that it has so many errors. You are using the right formula, but it is not giving you the right answer. It is because of the mostly probably because of the spreadsheet you are using. So I will come up with another lesson for that. So so I think mmejua kuchange from one currency to the other. Tunaitumia the number format. And then I think hiyo tumemalizana na number 1. Sasa tuende kwa question number 2. Question number 2. Question number 2. Question number 2. Question number 2, I will also share. Let me close and then I share. Nilikuwa nimeshare whatever I was doing really. Hebu somebody aniambie nilikuwa nimeshare. Okay. So let me share the next thing. So that was another question nilikuwa nimewapatia. Unajua hizi questions nilikuwa nachukua zile questions unaona maybe zile questions nilikuwa naona maybe tunaweza fanya na nyinyi. So now, like for example, that one you are supposed to reproduce, and then I will show you at a type of the cash book yenye unafaa utumie. If you have decided to tumia the cash book, especially ukitumia the spreadsheet, there is a way you can use that format of the spreadsheet. Tukitumia the consolidation, so the cash book ile unaona the standard one. I will share the templates and the templates, and then I will share it in the I will share maybe the next lesson or but I will share, I can assure you that. Tuangalie vile. So for ukiambia utengeneze unafaa you reproduce that thing exactly the way it is. So in that company, in that exercise, I can see we need to adjust the ABC thing, you know, still centered. I can see also this still, we need to make it bold. We need to make it bold. And then that one we have a label imeangalia the opposite direction. Yeah? So today, if you wanted something like that one, if we come to the word alignment here, if you come to the alignment, we have the orientation. We have the orientation. So I can come to any degrees I want. Nikikuja hapa tuseme if it is 45, if I click okay, unaona my text vile inaonyesha. Nikikuja tena kwa alignment, and then maybe I need a 90 degrees, I click okay, hiyo inapo katikati, and then I do center, and then I make it bold, something like that. Make it bold, inakuwa something like that. Something like that. So you can change to any direction, provided still we have another icon here. This is also another icon you can use, or but I propose or I suggest we use this one. Okay, because itakuwa inakuonyesha nini. So I think that one advanced, and then it is also centered. So this one, it is still have text here. I already explained about that. Nilikuwa nimewaexplainia about that. So kitu kama hiyo, and then kenye mimi nilikuwa naangalia kwanza utoe that thing exactly the way it is, and then unajua stories za formatting hatukuwa tumefanya. So kuje kwa more borders, and then if we need dotted, you can select the dotted. So this one tusitumie because najua kuna watu hata wanajua hiki kitu, whatever I'm showing you now, but it is for the sake of wengine wenyewe hawajui. So I click okay. So something like that, we come up with something like that. So if you want to tengeneza your statement itokeze vizuri iwe the eye-catching. So you need at least unavyo ukuwe na knowledge hizi vitu zote. So you will come up the way ikuwe eye-catching, so something like that. So that one is like that. So this one, the others is this just the normal cell address formula. So we'll not be doing that one because it is very simple. So number 7, create header that include your name. So the headers and footers, unakuja kwa insert, and then we have the headers and footers. If you don't have that option for the headers and footers in your Excel, uangalie kwa text. Ukiangalia kwa text, and then the drop down button, you will find the what? You will find the what? You will find the headers and footers. You will find the headers and footers there. You will find the headers and footers there. So hii calculations zingine mnaweza fanya because kama ni list minus discount is just a cell address formula. So and then what else? So I think that one is okay. Now select to some questions. I'm selecting some questions. So we go to the question number 3. We go to the question number 3. We go to the question number 3. Question number 3. Question number 3. Sidani kama kuna. So enter the formula, the total, the average, the highest, the lowest, the count values. I don't think. Hata hiyo iko sawa. Sidani kama iko na any question. Sidani kama iko na any issue. And then question number 4. The question number 4. This is the column width, how to change that set the column width as follows. A to 18 and then B to that one ilile tu nilikuwa nawaambia. So this one you do what? Una select, you right click, you select, you right click, and then unakuja kwa column width, and then you change, okay, like that. So that one it is the same thing. So okay, question number 5. The question number 5 now. Question number 5, I think hiyo tunaweza fanya hiyo. Tunaweza fanya hiyo ndio nikumbushe watu maneno ya hii function. I think we can do that question. We can do that question. Unaona kuna watu wametoka toka. Okay, so let us use the 5 minutes to do that question. Let us use the 5 minutes remaining to do that question number 5. Tufanye question number 5. Sawa, thank you but ni hivyo. So unajua niliona hizo formatting. Hizi vitu zingine tunaweza sema if, what if na hata formatting watu bado wako na shida because tukienda next week tukifanya hiyo maneno yetu we need to be formatting our what. Tukienda hapo kwa cost of goods sold, sijui nini, assets, we need to be formatting it. At least you need to have the knowledge of doing what? Of the formatting. Unafaa ukuwe na knowledge of formatting. That is why niliwapatia that thing and then at least we do together. Then there is many ways of doing that. There is very simple ways of doing that. So sijui kama hii tutaimaliza kweli, tutamaliza for 4 minutes. I don't think. Tuona aje, hebu suggest tumalize ama tutafanya next lesson. Unataka suggestion? Mimi niko comfortable kwa hili. Mkiniambia tutafanya the next lesson, hii question number 5 ama tufanye saa hizi ndio next time we do, tufanye mambo zingine. Okay. Thank you. I think that one you can do it. I think that one you can do it by your own. You can do it. It is easy. Okay, so we can call it a day. So wacha tutamit, we'll be meeting on Friday. Now watu wasimize on Friday. Whatever I'll be teaching on Friday it will be very, very, very important. It will be very, very important. What I will be teaching on Friday, mtu usimiss kabisa. Nieri hata umiss lesson nyingine, usimiss ya Friday. So because I'll be using the 5 financial modeling functions, and then we'll summarize about the spreadsheet so that we continue with other things. So mimi nimeshukuru sana for today. We can continue. So we have to miss lessons. We miss 2 lessons, and then I need to make up for those lessons because it is very important. Najua tulianza hii class very late. Time is not on our side. So can we now suggest on the timing that make up your classes? Ama ningoche. Okay, Saturday and Sunday. I agree with you. Hiyo nda agree kabisa, Saturday and Sunday mpaka tumalize. So it means that Saturday we can have, unajua this is a practical thing, so it is very interesting. So we can have even class for 4 hours. There's no problem. We can have the class for even 4 hours. So Saturday and Sunday. Kuna mtu mwingine ako na different suggestion? Watu wamesema tuta make up this class on Saturday and Sunday. Anybody else? Any other suggestion? So niko na class ya ICT ya section 2. I have a class for section 2 on Saturday morning hours. And then niko na alternate class on Saturday. Okay, but we will discuss about the in the next lesson with all the students. Okay, sawa. So siku 19 tuonane.